work that you did. And I have therefore asked my staff to ensure to increase this to the Caritas rate. The lowest, the lowest scale for manual workers is £10.88. So already above the Caritas living rate. Now, 0 hours contracts do have a place for bank staff in health and for supply teachers, but we in the States are reducing our numbers of such contracts overall. And I think that employers should look at their use of 0 hours contracts. They have a legitimate place, but they should be used only where they have a legitimate place and not used in place of where proper contractual terms should be issued. And you're probably aware the United Kingdom government is, or they were, I think they'll probably still carry on with this work, shortly to release a report looking at how extra protection in legislation can be given to those who may legitimately want to use a 0 hours contract, but they are exploring the idea that individuals will have the legislative right to ask their employer for a contract of a certain number of hours and for a certain duration. And I watch that with interest because I think that that may be something that we can follow here. Because we should only allow staff on 0 hours contracts to move to fixed hours if that is what they are working week in, week out, and of course also if they wish. So whilst we are reducing the numbers in the States, 50% of those who are on 0 hours contracts, that is their secondary occupation. So if you take a nurse, maybe working in, something I know something about, maybe working in day surgery on a permanent contract, but may also have a 0 hours contract to do irregular shifts at the weekend or at night. So they have a place, but we have a responsibility, government and employers, to ensure that they are used appropriately. So this government has been working to invest in, as I said at the start, health, education, raising skills, strengthening families, promoting long-term economic growth. This is how I believe we raise the living standards and improve the quality of life for everyone in this island. But I also want to say today I particularly welcome Caritas's work of inclusivity, because I have spoken about a lot of projects that we are delivering across government. And Senator Rutier and I spoke this morning. One of our concerns is that are we including everyone in those projects, in those policies, in that support mechanism? And so I look forward to working with you to ensure that we are into the future. When we agreed our strategic plan for Jersey in 2015, we said we couldn't serve islanders alone, and this is very much still the case. If we are to help all our community to make the most of the opportunities available on this small but successful island, we need the public sector, the voluntary and community sector, the private sector, and our community as a whole to work together to secure Jersey's future as a successful and respected small island state. So, is the eradication of poverty in Jersey aspiration or delusion? For my part, it is an aspiration, and it should be an aspiration. But let me be clear, it is not my sole responsibility as the head of government to deliver it. Each of us has an important part to play. And I return to where I started. Beveridge said, "The state, in organising security, should not stifle incentive, opportunity, responsibility. In establishing a national minimum, it should leave room and encouragement for voluntary action by each individual to provide more than that minimum for themselves and for their family." I think we should aspire to eradicate it, to deal with the challenges that we know exist in our community, but are often not spoken about, not well understood by large numbers of our community. But we must do it together. We offer you our support, as I know you in Caritas offer government your support. We're good at seeing where things are wrong. We're good at complaining, but I didn't ever think I would be in a position to quote what I'm about to quote. And that was the final sentence of the previous speaker. "Do not let hope be stolen, because I am not prepared to let it be stolen." Thank you.